The Invest in Her podcast is brought to you in part by Wells Fargo Bank. Hi, I'm Catherine Gray, founder of She Angel Investors and co-founder of the She Angels Foundation. I'm also the podcast host of Invest in Her and an award-winning producer, author, and TEDx speaker. Our show, Invest in Her, features phenomenal female founders and funders. As you know, women receive less than 2% of venture capital funding. Our series is about accelerating the funding of women by connecting them to funding resources. Let's meet today's guest. Welcome to this week's episode of Invest in Her. I'm your host, Catherine Gray, founder of She Angel Investors and co-founder of the She Angels Foundation and producer of the movie Show Her the Money. And today I have on one of my associate producers. She is the CEO and founder of BrainTrust.org. Please welcome to the show, Sherry Deutschmann. Hi, Sherry.
Hi, Catherine. It is just wonderful to be with you. Thanks for having me today.
Thank you. Same here. Coming to us from Nashville, I know. And you're either there or in Mexico or, always somewhere exciting. And I want to talk about so many things because you do so many extraordinary things. You're just really one of my favorite people because you're just such a good person. You help so many people. You make an impact on so many people. In fact, I just want to first mention your award-winning book, Lunch with Lucy, because I know my friends over at Dapper Boy just read it. And it's called of course, Lunch with Lucy, and then maximize your profits by investing in your people. And I know you really, attribute your success, which is immense, to that philosophy that you share with other people. And let's talk about your past, because I want people to understand who we have on the show today. You actually were the CEO and founder of a company called LetterLogic, which yes. You end up growing into a $40 million company, and then you sold it back in 2016. Yes. And it was in the 5,000, the Inc. 5,000, or is it Inc. 500? Inc. 5,000 fastest growing companies for 10 years. And, you really attribute it to taking care of your employees, right? That was your strategy. Tell me what you mean by that, because, we have a lot of entrepreneurs out there and they need to understand this philosophy if they want to build a successful business and enjoy doing it, right?
Yeah. It was really about leaning into our innate empathy and seeing that as a critical leadership trait. So I was a single mom. I have only a high school education. For a long time, too long, my daughter and I lived without electricity because I couldn't afford the light bill and the daycare bill. And that really kind of honed my innate empathy. And later when I became a business owner, I thought about what that woman needed then, what she would have needed to have been a better employee. And so as an employer, I made sure that I gave that to my employees, which was giving them a voice and listening to them, which was, what Lunch with Lucy, the title came from the fact that on Wednesdays, employees invited me to lunch and they chose the topics, they chose the restaurant that we would go to, and then I would just listen to them talk about their struggles at work.
And so on those days, you weren't Sherry Deutschmann, you were Lucy?
Right. I was just Lucy. Yes, that's an important detail, Catherine.
I love that. And then, I know in the long run, your success became their success because I believe that you did shares to your employees in the company, right?
Yeah, and in addition to paying them a real fair living wage, and you should have me back sometime just to talk about what that is. We also helped everybody buy their first home with a gift for the down payment or on their first house. Let them bring their kids and their pets to work, and then we had paid for 100% of their medical, dental, disability, and life insurance.
Every employer in this country should listen to you. You've had tremendous.
It's the only reason we were successful, because what it did, and the most critical part of it, was a profit share program where every month we shared the financials with all the employees, so they saw the P&L from the previous month, and we took 10% of the profit, whatever it was, and split it evenly.
Wow.
So our janitor got the same thing our CFO got.
That,
Everybody got
I think that
exactly
is
the
so
same thing.
incredible. If every company in this country would do that, and you know what? It takes a woman to perpetuate this kind of thinking that everybody wins. Wouldn't the country, wouldn't the world be better if everybody wins when the company wins? I think
Yeah.
that's just a brilliant philosophy that should be taught in every single company in the country and around the globe. So I hope people listening at least implement this into their own corporations and their own companies.
Catherine, it's the only reason we were successful. And you talk about us being on that Inc. 5,000 list for 10 straight years. But in that process, we became the most expensive in the nation. And we didn't lose customers. We kept growing even though everybody knew we were the most expensive, because our service was it was so far superior to everyone else. And the reason it is because every employee was fully vested in the net results, because they knew they mattered and they knew they were going to benefit from the profit. And so they helped us drive the profit bigger and bigger constantly.
I love that. And this might explain why you were honored by President Barack Obama with the White House Champion of Change in 2016. Hello.
Thank you. It was like one of the greatest, I'll get teary-eyed thinking about it, one of the greatest honors of my lifetime.
Oh, I can imagine. Oh my gosh, and so well deserved. And so, being a serial entrepreneur like you are, of course, now you have a new endeavor, and that's what we want to talk about today, which is our BrainTrust.org. Tell me about this. I know whatever it is, it's going to be absolutely magical and be helping women. So tell me about it.
Well, as I was growing my business, the first business, EO, the Entrepreneurs Organization, and WPO, the Women's Presidents Organization, were really, I think, critical to my success, in that they put me in a group of, other entrepreneurs who helped each other every month. And I kept telling women, you need to join. They couldn't, because you had to be, for both organizations, you had to have more than $1 million in annual revenue, and you had to own more than 50% of the company. And that left out about 14 million women business owners. So I started BrainTrust for the rest of us, women who are working hard to build companies, to grow them and scale them. And I thought that what I would do was help them get to the $1 million mark, and then they would join one of these other organizations. But so many of them have made it. In Nashville, already 50 women are in BrainTrust are over $1 million, from $1 million to 30 million, and they didn't want to leave. They wanted to stay with these group of women who had helped them be so successful. So we have about 220 members in total in Nashville, and we're just expanding to other cities now, with Charlotte, North Carolina being our first expansion city, and getting great traction and incredible women founders there.
That is incredible. So the purpose of our BrainTrust.org is to help women grow their business to be $1 million businesses. Wow. Yes. That is an incredible cause. And how do people join it or start a chapter in their area?
Ultimately, there will be an opportunity in every city in the U.S. for them to have a chapter. But right now, we're focusing on Charlotte and Nashville and just perfecting the process so that it's easily scalable. But they can, join in our webinars. There's content everywhere, but so the real value of BrainTrust is not necessarily the content. It is having these other women that hold you accountable, that support you and push you when you need to be pushed to achieve your goals. And so the first goal is to get you to $1 million. And then after $1 million, how can we help you go to 500 million or even bigger? And we have several companies that have the potential to do that.
I love that. Can you share any success stories from your group? Are you allowed to tell those stories?
Yeah, I'll share, a couple of things that are really pivotal. One young woman joined us and had just had joined and was pre-revenue, which now we don't allow women to join pre-revenue. But she reached out and said, I need to know how to work within a retainer agreement. I've never done that. And I've got a client who wants to start and he wants to pay me $36,000 a year. What do you think? And I said, I don't know. Let's put it out to our portal. So our custom portal just for the other women in the organization. And immediately 6 other members said, yes, we can help you with that. So she signed that client the next day. But she didn't sign him at $30,000 a year. She signed him at $100,000.
Oh
and
my
the next week,
gosh!
she got 2 more, and it was just by the other women sharing their experiences and saying, "Hey, you're not charging near enough. This is what the market will bear." And then something else that happened just a few weeks ago is one of the members reached out to me and asked to borrow some money. She was coming to the bank of Sherry, and she said, I just need 40 grand and I need it for 90 days. And I said, let's put it on the portal. I won't tell them who. I'll just say a member needs this, and she'll pay 10% interest. The next morning, she had the money.
Oh my gosh!
And so it is. Women operate differently. You know this.
Yes.
We put our money back into the community. We're much more generous and thoughtful in the way we invest, in the way we give. And so it was another member who jumped in and said, hey, I'll loan you that money.
I love that. And that is women. We come together and lift each other up. I think I see more and more of that. And especially with the wave of what's happening right now in our country, it's very exciting, isn't it? This wave of proactive empowerment for women, because the women are going to save the world. You know my TED Talk, Fund Women Save the World. This is where we're headed, because the world has not been in such a good place, and it's going to take organizations like yours and us coming together in groups, helping each other out. Because that's how we're more powerful than we are alone. And that seems like the very premise of your company is, you don't have to go it alone. You can get in and, coordinate with other people in this our BrainTrust.org group and get all the introductions, the resources that we need to help each other out. And I love that.
Exactly. I think about the old expression, if you give a man a fish, he eats for a day. But if you teach him to fish, he eats for a lifetime. But
we just have to change that quote to a woman.
Well, I have. Somebody smarter than me changed it to say, if you teach a woman to fish, she feeds the whole damn village for a lifetime.
Oh, right. Oh, I love that.
And that's why pushing and supporting women to build these successful businesses is so impactful. I don't think it's a ripple effect. I think it is a tsunami effect that we can have on the global economy.
Right. Now, you are an associate producer on Show Her the Money, which is our film that started off, first we went to film festivals. We won awards for it, best feature documentary at many festivals. Then we started a 50-city tour, which is now turned into an over 100-city tour. Of course, we have been in Nashville. And I want you to tell people, why did you think it was important to get behind our film that is about raising awareness of women getting only 2% of venture capital, and how we need to change that, and how important it is to the future of our world?
Yeah, it's really personal to me. My contribution to that film was personal because, as a single mom with no education, starting a company, and I got it to about $1.5 million, $2 million in revenue on my own, and I needed an investor. And I was lucky in that I got an investor, but most women don't have that opportunity. In fact, I think we only get like 2% of venture capital or less this year. But I know the impact that it made on me, on my employees, and so everything that I can do to raise awareness of the plight of women not getting the funding, and yet the data proves that we produce a much greater ROI than men do. This story's got to be told, and you're telling it. And I had to be part of that, and I'm so proud of my tiny little involvement in the film and the traction that it's getting. Just in Nashville, when we showed it here, women in the audience who have companies got funding from that.
Yeah, and I had someone write me from Nashville that they her and her husband are now investing in venture capital because she saw the film. And she came with her little 10-year-old daughter. And after the movie, I'm thinking, wow, 10 years old and you brought her to this film, you know, was there any impact? And the little girl said to me, I love this movie. I said, really? What did you love about it? She said, I saw what all the different products women have invented, and I want to be an inventor. How fabulous was that?
That's awesome.
I know, it gives me
love that you
goosebumps.
feature all these products created by women, because I didn't know that.
Yeah. A lot of people say, you know, I've had people say, oh, I don't really like documentaries, but I love this film. It's kind of, people have said it's more like a feature film. And I think it's because we really are telling the stories of entrepreneurs and their plight of getting funding and how they have overcome it or not. And, you know, really, as you and I both know, it's a movie and a movement. So we're calling it a movement. Right. And it really can help change things because women are coming into more money than ever in history. Right. What are they going to do with it? This is what we're hoping to do with Show Her the Money, is to show them how fascinating, exciting, and fun, how profitable and how impactful venture capital is, and why they would want to come and learn about it in a storytelling, engaging way that makes it understandable and makes people realize really how incredibly interesting it is that you're learning about all the new upcoming inventions that are coming down the pike, and you can invest in them and make money and make an impact and leave a legacy. What could be better than that, right?
Nothing. It's fantastic. The film itself is engrossing. And so I think I've seen it 5 times, and every time I'm just riveted.
Yeah, I feel the same way, and I've probably seen it more than 50 times. It always moves me, and I love that people say, you know what, that film made me laugh and made me cry and made me feel like there's something I can do to help make a difference. And one person can make a difference. So you're living proof of that. And I'm just so glad that you came on to share your incredible story and your wisdom about how companies should be run, what you did in your successful formula. And I'm so grateful that you've created our BrainTrust.org to help other women really be able to fly in their business and, you know, have those $1 million businesses that they are capable of and deserving of, and then hope that they implement your philosophy of, you know, maximizing their profits by investing in their people. And that's a winning formula. So you really bring so much to the table, Sherry, in helping women to thrive and to really reach their ultimate capabilities.
Thank you. And not enough can be said about what you're doing in that regard. Thank you so much, Catherine.
Well, we're all in this together, right? Yeah. And thank you, everybody, so much for tuning in. Be sure to go to ourbraintrust.org, sign up. They do have things that you can access online if you can't make it in person, but perhaps you're in an area that you want to talk to Sherry about opening this in your own area to help women in your community build their businesses or your own into $1 million businesses. This is your opportunity to do that. Sherry, thanks for the continued amazing work that you're doing, and thanks for being a part of Show Her the Money. So appreciate you. And everybody, remember to invest in her, make it a great day, and you can, of course, find both Sherry and I on LinkedIn. We look forward to connecting with you. Have a beautiful day, everybody.